any further, guys, right? Let's be friends. People don't know how to be a friend, period. Oh man, this is the lunchtime rewind or the dinner time. I like that song too. I'm a star. It was like, I'm a star, star, star. Oh my gosh, it was coming on before, guys. I was gonna play it. I'm gonna make this a short live. I felt like I needed to make one, especially, guys, since those pictures that I put up on my community wall, I'm gonna take them down because it's too funny. And I don't want to spam my community tab with those chicken cutlets butt cheeks, but I just found it funny because there's so many podcasts that say, women don't have access or don't give access to sex. It's just men who have to offer it to them. Like in real life, you will get the opposite of what some of these goofballs are talking about on here. Because to see a man order chicken cutlets, I mean, you're one step away from necromancy. I mean, it was just a part of the body. And I'm just seeing like this culture right now, just people out there, most people's problems is that they are undersexed or either oversexed and definitely unloved, right? And they're finding it in all the wrong places. But so I'm probably going to take those pictures down because it's like I'm probably giving some creeps out there an idea, right? And half of them are crossing over to the dark side or the so-called alternative side, and they just need a reason to like be done with women altogether, right? It's like, oh, let me just go get toys and I'll be good, right? So it was pretty jolting. And when you work in different industries, I'm like, listen, I just wanted to put it up there for proof that these things happen, and that obviously it's showing that men are becoming that desperate where they're buying just silicone vaginas and they're calling it a day. God. And it goes to show that women do have access to that, because why would you have to buy that if you had all the access? So it goes to show that you can't have one without the other. You need to put in the time, you need to put in the mental connection, which most people don't want to do. They don't want to do courting out there, but yet they'll go buy like a blow-up doll or chicken cutlets. And it was the most hideous thing. Like, it was very anatomically accurate. It almost looked like there was blood down. I'm like, is this supposed to simulate having sex with like a woman on her menstrual cycle? Is that how like messed up it is? Like, somebody retrieved it and they were like so startled, and I looked in it and I was like, what is this? This is horrible. And I had to keep a straight face and be like, your package is here. Like, we wanted to like dispose of this damn thing. I'm like, this is crazy. But it goes to show like how dark people are getting and how desperate people are getting. And I'm like, well, doing that, you're going to mess up your interaction with women altogether, because you're going to be like, you're satiating yourself, pretty much putting it in like, what looks like a basketball with slits in it or whatever the hell. And so when you get to like an actual woman, how you're not even going to act right. And instead of acting right and learning how to be like a whole person and, invest in someone if you really like them and cared about them, like the old school way. But I guess that's like gone and dead away with some new GMO people. They rather just, do nothing and then get that desperate where they have to buy that type of shit, which I think is pretty funny. So I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Mine was pretty freaking wackadoo already, as you guys can tell. And I just totally blows like half of the shit you're hearing out on these YouTube streets, right? When you're having, certain men teach game, and if you have so-called game, you can get away with whatever. These guys don't know what the hell they're talking about. It must be a good spiel when it comes to like getting their ratings up and shit like that. But that's all it is, because if you're not, meeting the woman, if you're not being in your masculine role and doing the things that the woman requires also, then it's just not going to go nowhere. It's just like with any type of so-called agreement. You need like a meeting of the minds, and it all starts in a mental space too. But you'll just see people, they just, want to be set in their ways. They don't want to get better. They don't want to improve. They don't want to work on themselves. They don't want to be real. So they rather lie and scheme. And then when people don't want to deal with them, then they rather resort to inanimate objects. Well, that's what they deserve then. That's what they deserve, because some of them don't even want to hear some of us women talk, right? But at the end of it, that's all they're going to have at the end of the day, right? Because if they didn't want the whole you, they get no you. They get not one iota. That's how you got to be. And that's how I would tell my friends. That's how I would tell someone I cared about. Like, if they can't, show interest enough where they'll, go out of their way and they'll set themselves apart to try to impress you and show you like they're the best fit, then you need to keep it moving. And if people don't like it, too effing bad. Go buy your chicken cutlets, because there's plenty on Amazon or whatever the hell, right? Because that's what people are doing. And I almost thought too, I'm like, is this guy like away for a long, because there's like service members too, So I'm like, is he married and just buying this so he don't cheat? I don't know. I mean, that crossed my mind too. And in that case, I still wouldn't want my man messing with no, like fake vagina to get his rocks off or whatever. I think people need to keep, I think absence does make the heart grow fonder. You could be like doing other things with yourself, and then by the time you see each other, then you're missing each other so much. It just, you vibe well. But the way people are nowadays, they're exposed to too much. And even me, I'm Gen X, we were exposed to some crap too, like not absolving us, but now it's just even more. That like the stuff that people are talking about, what they need just to even have a good time. It's like, what the hell? I mean, pretty soon they need to get like, beat up and, freaking all kind of stuff, right? To like feel anything, because they're walking around probably dead inside, right? And they don't have like any love to give, but they expect love back. Well, they don't call it making love for no reason, right? There was a time that's what you would call it. Okay, you can't just separate yourself into like separate parts and be like, okay, and if you do, you're a straight up sociopath. I know, some men get all happy and joyful that they think it's such a flex that some of them can do it, but that's not a normal thing. And just like the Bible says, it is not good for man to be alone, right? That's why he created Eve for Adam. I mean, if you go into some of the older texts, he was by himself for a few years, right? I mean, who knows the kind of shit he was doing, right? And God was probably looking down like, you freaking pig, you need a companion or something. Who knows where he was sticking that thing. Let's see. Something, I don't know, you saying something fresh? Mosh pit sex. What is this? I don't entertain any craziness, so who does that? What, you're into orgies? Sorry, you're not going to get that on this channel. Sorry, nope. Not, you need to go to OnlyFans or whatever, or do you not want to pay for that type of content? Oh well, as they say, oh well. All right. Okay, it was a joke. All right, as long as it was a joke. I can take a joke, but I get tested way too much. So people think like I'm a whole clown sometimes. So I'm like, I'm always ready for it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm just saying out there that people, they're like, walking dildos or whatever. That's all they want to think about. And that shit will rot your brain. And, thinking about that, having it too much will like weaken your testosterone. And just like with women, men can get soul ties too. You can be all caught up with the energies from the prior. So all this stuff like still applies, So when people try to divide like, oh, men versus women, no, we're more similar than you think, we obviously were opposite in the ways we need to be opposite, but I mean, we still have that yearning for connectiveness, you know? I mean, I talk to people on the phone professionally and just having like a heartfelt conversation. They'll be like, you know, it was really nice connecting with you. A lady said that to me today. It was nice connecting with you. I was like, people really need connection nowadays, it seems, right? More than anything. You was talking about what young people do. That was the joke. Yeah, that's probably what they do. Okay, mosh pit sex. Okay, that makes more sense now. Who knows? Probably. Um, I mean, I was that age once too, but like we had a little bit of decorum and it was still more one on one. Like, I still remember going to the movies and it was a big deal, like, you know, to kiss and to take things slow. You know what I mean? Like the build up. Now, people think they're gonna go right to the finish line. They don't want to put any effort. And I'm like, I wouldn't want that for anybody in my family, like any of the younger ones. Like, I would be on it. I know you're not, you know, rewarding people who don't give two shits about you or are not trying to make a life with you or whatever. Like, that's the point. And a lot of people don't want relationships, don't want this. Well, then you can't have all the other fun stuff because the whole sex part is part of that, right? So people are whacked out unless it's just transaction, and then you're going to attract a whole different group of people. But a lot of people want like a girlfriend experience, but don't want to make a boyfriend experience. So they end up with freaking sex toys and shit. You know, pretty soon they're going to be putting brooms up their ass. I thought that was so funny. I'm like, oh, if men have all this power and access, why do you got this whole grown man buying these freaking, what looked like the bottom of a torso of a doll? It looked like a doll, an anatomically correct, whatever. And like, I'm like, this is disgusting. So what is he gonna like clean that out? I'm like, what a weirdo. And then what, like look at a poster of someone he's attracted to or something like that. 52, Gen X. Oh yeah, so yeah, you're near me. I'm right behind you. So let's see, you're 7 years older than me. So yeah, Gen X. So exactly. There was a lot of babies made around our time. Like the music was on point, the vibe was on point. I'm trying to bring it back, as you can tell. I still got my little 90s touch. I don't care what they say about it, okay? So I'm just so thankful that I still move in that capacity. But you still even got people like in our age group or even behind, like still trying to move like Gen Z or whatever the hell, or you know, thinking they're young and stuff. And it's like they think that, you know, I don't know if they want to like relive, you know, some people go through like a midlife experience type deal and that's all it could be. But they need to be careful because around that age group, you know, the rise of STDs and all that stuff. So I do understand like some people trying to be safe, but I just thought it was so disturbing, like seeing the package and it was like a torso and like this guy was going to use it for his sexual pleasure. And to me, it was like a dismembered body. And I'm like, this is so freaky. It's not even a whole thing. It was really awkward. And, you know, he was all about like, he was, you know, you could tell he was embarrassed because like the package was open because it got mixed up, right? But like he came to get that shit. Like he was making sure he put that shit in the car. I was just watching him like it's really that important. He probably named it and everything by now. I'm like, that's how deep people are getting with this, right? And they rather do that than get, you know, do things the right way and find themselves a partner or be in a relationship or be married. Like it's the worst thing in the world. And I'll have to do videos too, because some people are like, I don't want to get married through the state. You can do a county recording. I just think that's just like a solemn thing, like, and it does get better with time. I do see that. I see that with couples. It's just, you know, that's just probably how I'm built. So all this stuff, although people could do all that other stuff, is so empty. And even when I was single, like I didn't even enjoy like how that felt. Things like Tinder have destroyed. Yeah, like I've never been on that. Thank God you'll never see my name on that shit. Well, that's the word, Tinder. It's supposed to like ignite and then be done, right? But then it's like a cycle. It's like a waste of time. And then you're losing a part of yourself and then you're giving soul ties to different randos and stuff, right? And sometimes you could be attracted to someone and then not like their personality and, just not vibe and be like super turned off. Or it could just be because, the person has been without for a while. So it's just that human connection. But sometimes they're just yearning for that. But I try to come on here and give, people at least a mental connection, trying to like encourage and all that. And even with that lady on the phone. And, that's great when it's like, in the spirit of love and, brotherhood and sisterhood. But other people, they don't want to connect. They just only know how to bump uglies and be done with it. Like there's nothing in them. Like, so they don't really like deserve like that is supposed to be something that someone works toward and supposed to be like some type of reward, but people are just giving that away, so it like took away the special quality of it. So I guess a lot of people just need a good detox and kind of bring it back again, because then when you make yourself go without for a while, then you can say no. You're in a position of strength, and that could be for anyone, right? Because it's not about one or the other getting a one up on each other. It's not supposed to be that type of competition, but on here that's what people make it feel like, right? So everyone feels like they got to get that get back. There's always, so they're not going into it like with both eyes open, with their hearts open, with their minds open. They're really, really guarded, and they're already setting it up to fail, it seems like, I don't need Tinder or a doll. I have, aw, that's so sweet. But I'm sure you have memories of women you were actually with, right? You know what I mean? Better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all, kind of thing. But like, I mean, gosh, you know what I mean? There's many people out there. There's got to be at least some woman out there that someone can connect with outside of, doing the most intimate, sacred thing with an inanimate object. Then it's meaningless by the time you get to a whole a person, a woman or a man. It's like, it's diabolical, really. It's crazy. So they're really psychos. You're right. I know. So you probably need like a good spiritual detox, right? You don't want to take in any of their horrible mental energy, right? Because it's true, because that can rub off on you, also. So I totally get that. So maybe you got to just start from scratch, right? And it's been said too, you can meet like your soulmate like later on in life and stuff like that. So that's fine. I just think people have given up hope, but a lot of people are desensitized because they made themselves that way. They did too much too fast, and now it's like, I don't know what they need, you know what I'm saying, like hot lava poured on them or some shit. Like it's like nothing stimulates people anymore unless it's like shocking or crazy. And some of the guys on here, although I'll do drive-bys, I'll say hi and bye, I don't agree with some of the stuff they're talking about when they're like, oh, it has to be my way or the highway. It's like, sir, please, bye. That only works with like broken, traumatized women who maybe have like a history of dealing with men in polygamous relationships. But unless you were groomed and broke down from an early age, no real woman's going to deal with that shit. We'll just laugh and leave kind of attitude, Because some of them like, if you have game, you can fly, you can do whatever. A girl will show up at your house with a French maid costume. It's like, shut the hell up. Like, yeah, that girl was running game too. She was probably just trying to get it in or whatever. And then she was done and bored because you had nothing else to offer. You were just a freaking human dildo. So it's like, anyways. And that's not going to help the younger generation, because like just teaching guys this dumb shit, it didn't work that much in the 90s. Those kind of guys got, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them probably got their wallets taken and shit like that. Like, the most arrogant ones usually got played the most. And that's what I seen growing up and stuff. Like the ones with the biggest heads, right? Trying to play the women like they're so smart. You know what I'm saying? Usually, got themselves, right? That's what I've seen, right? That's what a lot of women won't say. they'll make the guy think whatever, but I don't think anyone should be like, oh, okay, I have all this charisma, so you should just bow down to me because I'm that guy or I'm that girl. That's some bullshit. Right? That's just like, oh, really? I never seen you anywhere. Are you in movies? Are you whatever? I don't think so. You can't just, because a lot of people will be like, I'm a good guy or I'm this or I'm that, and it's like, yeah, let me tell it. You're not going to tell me what you are. You got to let other people, like, I need reviews from other people. I need to review you. You're not going to tell me. You could be deceiving yourself or gaslighting me, saying you're a particular way because that's how I would choose or whatever, and then but really not be that. So a lot of girls are hip to that too. But when they say on here that like girls have no power, that our opinions don't matter, that's a whole lie. And they want you to think that, right? So they continue to play their dirty games too. But I like going back to the old book because it's just really plain. It is not good for man to be alone, and I can see that because for a long time, look what happens in jail. Look what happens in certain situations, right? So we got to be real about it. Nature will take its course and et cetera, et cetera. So Eve was there as a helpmate, obviously his counterpart. But a lot of people move so far away from nature that now they're doing like, really crazy things. I didn't even know it was that serious until I inadvertently opened that box. But I am going to take down that darn those pictures, because I am not trying to endorse you guys to do that. I'm sure there are girls in your area, you know. Are you able to read greetings from Italy? Greetings! I would love to go to Italy. I'm sure I got some cousins out there probably. Are you able to read? I don't know. I'm a whole grown woman with a job that is on the road. What do you think? I obviously can drive, so I'm reading what you're saying right now. So are you trolling me? Can you read? I don't know. Can I? Can you? You got anything substantial to say? Get lost. What is it? This is my... Do you see this fool? I'm gonna have to start. I gotta learn how to give some of you guys wrenches. You want to be my moderators? Erwin, you're gonna have to be my moderator. I like your vibe. I'm gonna have to learn how to do that. Is there like a button I'm supposed to push? I'm not sure how to do this. I'm gonna try to press some buttons. I don't know how to do this. But if you want to be a moderator? Standard moderator. There we go. I'll give you a wrench. Just because I like your vibe. Maybe it'll come up after. There you go. Now you're in blue. I love it. Indigo soul. Ooh, there you go. I put my little magic touch on you. You're all set. You've been upgraded, my dear. Yeah. When some of these guys are acting the fool, like the cups have fool, I don't know. You might have to block his ass. Because he's asking me if I can read it. I'm obviously reading from the chat. So he's obviously being a sucker bitch. I'm going to do t-shirts. Stop being a sucker bitch on my lives, okay? I always get certain trolls. It's probably some people that I told to scram a while back, and they come on here and their dummy accounts and like, ooh, I'm gonna like piss her off or whatever, but you're not. You're obviously showing that you need my attention, and you probably need to go buy some chicken cutlets. Go on my community tab. Maybe you can go to one of those debaucherous Adam and Eve stores, even though that right there is blasphemy. I don't think Adam and Eve needed all that bullshit. I think they were in each other's motivation. If you take care of yourself and you're with someone that you're attracted to, you don't need to be sticking tools up your freaking genitals to get off, right? Or to do stupid shit like this for a good time, right? Exactly. Turd, right. Monkey, cool. Let's see. My mother was Italian. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of history there. Exactly. Just like that's a lot like my ancestral surname, Ferrara. It's almost like Ferrari too, also. So yeah, And that's cool. Maybe you know a little bit of Italian. So yes, Erwin, you can definitely be my moderator. I like that you're already on top of it. Look at you. See, a real man takes initiative, right? That's right. You're in the front seat and you're like, get the F out of here, you piece of shit. Oh, well, just like the word dia has it's also in the word diabolical. I too can tap into that side and laugh my ass off on the trolls. We got people walking around. I'm gonna leave you guys in a minute. Well, I'm sure, Irvin, you don't have any problems getting the ladies, and you don't have to buy chicken cutlets to have a good time. That guy probably will. Those are gonna be the one that are gonna be cursed. Like, sir, yeah, they have to come on here just to get a woman to even look in their direction, right? Because probably it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen in real. The women be running down the street and shit. So they gotta come on and be like, you know, throwing freaking spitballs at me and shit. Virtual spitballs. I think it's funny. No ladies right now. Well, what state are you in, dear? And maybe it depends on your location, as they say. And some people, they're online way too much. I got 15% battery left, of course. I just came back from work. I just finished my commute. I have a really easy week this week. Ohio. Why do I always meet the best people from Ohio? I swear I am destined to meet my tribe in Ohio. Definitely. Anybody that like has like a good vibe and like we get along or whatever. I met a couple of people. One from Columbus. I think another one, Akron. That one's hot and cold. Like some of them are cool, and then but a lot of them, yeah, it's always like really humble people, just like kindred spirits type of deal. I don't know what it is about Ohio. A lot of people say there's not much going on there, but whatever's in the water, it's working because you guys have like a really good vibe. So just outside of Cleveland, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. And I have a coworker, Danny. She just moved from there also, and she's such a good girl too. So I like working with her. So she brought up Ohio too. So there's just something about Ohio. I don't know. That's always like calling to me. So I don't know. Maybe I'm destined to meet a good friend from there. I have no idea. Mob right? We run deep, right? Mob deep, right? All over. I didn't know that, right? So maybe some of your family came from the East Coast. I was born and raised in the East Coast in Massachusetts. I moved to other states for a little while, but I ended up coming back here. And I don't know where I'll end up, but I work in Rhode Island. So Rhode Island's pretty good too. It's just the people drive pretty aggressively there. So I feel like I'm fighting for my life every time I go visit Rhode Island, but the people are pretty chill. I met a lot of great people, and Mass is really chill too. There's a lot of history here. I don't know what it is. It's just this old school history. You look like a Chelsea for here we go. Here we go with the hat fool. What's a 403? Oh, really? Well, I have heard of people from Chelsea. Why? Because you say it's a little bit ghetto. I'm not going to say where my hometown is then. It's not even Chelsea, but that's fine. Nowhere close to Chelsea, but that's fine. It's obviously he's so thirsty for my attention. It's like obsession, I guess, right? Gone. I know he can just look from afar, right? He's probably getting a hard on just watching my channel. It's someone like that. I've always that like when little boys just pick on you, but they just can't leave you alone. It's like that, right? It's like that. So that's fine. And no, I am south of Boston, near Rhode Island, but I think may have given up my hometown before. Not that I care. There's nothing to be ashamed of. I want to give a shout out to Fall River. Fall River. It used to be called Quequechan. We're known for the story Lizzie Borden, so don't let me pull a Lizzie Borden, right, on that guy's ass. But I keep giving a shout out to Lewis Howard Latimer. Yes. He worked with Thomas Edison, a very nice gentleman who helped with the filament in the light bulb, how he improved it. He helped with the prototype of the air conditioner. And he's buried out here in Oak Grove Cemetery. So that's really cool. And Emerald, the chef, Emerald, you ever heard of Emerald? He was born and raised out here too. So there is some interesting stories. The site of the King Philip's War was in this area. But in a good way, right? In a good way. Thank you. King Philip's War. I'm near Freetown Forest, which is a spooky, haunted forest, right? Where they say there's Pukwudgies sightings and all this mythical creatures, which I think is so funny. So we do have, there's a lot of like spiritual stuff going on around here. A lot of cats too, cats everywhere. So another one held for review. Only two at top of your screen. That's fine. Yep. I know they come and they go. So a lot of times, like, they don't realize I'm also like a data analyst. I kind of see like the different times of the day, who comes by, even though I'll get a lot of views later on. Some people can just be coming home from work, winding down. I haven't done up the title. It just says right now Diana Dia Dash is live. So like no one knows like the title, like the topic, right? So when I go home, I have to go back and edit it. So that will draw more people too. And I do my shorts and stuff, and I don't tell people when I'm coming on live. So I'm kind of like all over the place. So when I do my pre-records, I'll do my thumbnails again. We'll do like different classes and stuff. I give you guys my email. I leave it out there for you guys if you guys want to give me ideas on different topics. It's dia-dia dash, like my channel, at yahoo.com. So if you have ideas for videos, if you want to do law, I have my different books. We go into like status correction. We go into holistic medicine. We can go into current events, life talk, how people are messed up out here, like I was doing a little bit. You can look up my shorts if you want. I do all kinds. I could be out and about just being active. I could be doing a quick tutorial. I could be giving a little motivational message. Or sometimes I just do karaoke. I like do little sing-alongs or whatever, because you know how people are. They just want to see something funny, right? Or I don't know if it's like my facial expressions or what that's like really animated, but I get a lot of views just by doing stupid shit. Just by like putting up like the different songs that I like my favorite songs, I'll put it in the shorts. So it's almost like you're getting to see my playlist. And if you go under my playlist, all the songs that I like, I'll try to save it on there too. So, and then you can go through my videos. I also have a channel called Alpha 7 Media. Yes, I've been meeting a lot of people today with the number 7 in their lives too. It's pretty cool. And I read books. I kind of go in through what songs. Well, I like all type of music. I like R&B. I like hip hop. I like alternative. I like everything but country. I don't do country too much. I like what is it? Don Omar. Like I like old school reggaeton. I like Sean Paul. Whatever, right? I can do, I'll go all the way back. I mean, Expose. I mean, how far do you want me to go back? The Jets? I mean, Paula Abdul, I'll go all the way back. Michael Jackson, whatever, right? So, my taste is across the board. I do like, certain international music too. So, the classics. And sometimes when I want to turn up, I'll like connect with my so-called juvenile side, and then you'll, have me playing freaking Glorilla or whatever. All right. I put up on my community tab. I'll share it with you sometimes. But if you go on my shorts, I'll be like singing along with Prince. I'll be like doing stupid shit, or I'll just be out and about. I'll be in nature. I love hiking. I love jogging. I love just, being out there, doing exercise, rollerblading. I love bike riding. It's been a while though. I need to get a new bike, but obviously I can do it just fine. I miss doing that. where I live, there's like a lot of hills. Can you see like the steep hills? So I sprint up and down those bad boys. I do, squats, whatever. It's really important to stay fit, especially as you get older. You want to keep everything tight and right, all that good stuff. And that will help you to just feel better. Just overall, people out there with their social anxiety, they don't want to meet people, they don't want to put time into it. Well, doing things that are active will help you guys bond. It'll increase your endorphins and all that good stuff. Thanks for deleting all of the spam, Irvin. I have complete confidence. Sometimes I need that because as a woman, I mean, I really need like strong men, friends, whatever, to like kick people right in their freaking teeth when they're acting up, because they think they can just approach me however kind of way, and they're freaking trash out there. It's good to know that there's still quality people out in the world, right? So you are definitely my mod. Between you and one of my friends, I have a girl, I have a woman, and I have you. So used to work in bars, so you must be big and strong, right? Perfect. We were destined to meet. So I'm glad you found my channel. You are welcome anytime. At some point, I would like to get one of those, I don't know, maybe eventually, like where I can have people come on. 6-1. Perfect. That will work. Very good. So nobody's going to mess with you. Exactly, right? That's what I need, right? I need like the right crew that supports my endeavors, right? And, right, that can get rid of the creeps. And it's always like the rejects of society that give me the hottest time. Like he's probably like 5'6", weighing like freaking 260. You know what I'm trying to say? With freaking man boobs and shit. Trying to come on here saying if I can read when I'm obviously doing that, right? It's like, I don't know, is the sky blue? What else kind of dumb shit, right? Be careful. What does that mean? Be careful. Yes, I am careful. I am careful, but I can hold my own too. I don't walk around with a bag over my head. Do I have to be? I have the Most High that watches over me. I don't ask for shit. And plus, anything that bad that could have happened, I've already seen. Because if you knew like the stuff that I've seen and overcame, and that doesn't faze me, then you already know that I can hold my own. So, but yeah, it's nice to see like a gentleman come up and say something when you see a shithead, right, that hasn't got laid since freaking 2004 or whatever, right? Try to come on with their repressed energy and stop picking on women that they don't know on YouTube, right? Like, you don't freaking know me, and you're not gonna know me, okay? You can think, you think you know where I am or not or whatever. You ain't gonna do stuff, and I'd like to see you try. Right? It's called defending yourself. Like, I'm not gonna walk around like living under a rock because I'm worried about the freaking boogeyman coming out of the bushes. Okay, I'll just hit you with my big stick, and that's why I make sure I walk around with one and a knife and a taser gun. So, and I'm just dying to use my taser gun. I hate buying toys like that and then you don't use it. It's like, somebody, please, I want to use my taser gun, so try it, and it'll go right in your balls. Because I'm short, right? So I'll have to get, since they want to come at me, but they're probably small too, so I probably don't got to reach that high. Right, Irvin? Agreed, exactly. I'm going to let you go, my dear. But taser, right? It's like buzz, buzz, buzz. Don't make me get it, right? Make sure that shit's fully charged. Yeah, I got a knife, but I don't like being too stabby. I'd rather just... Exactly. Well, how thirsty people are, right? No, never you, right? But how thirsty people are out there, and then you got these creatures of the night. Look how they act online. Never mind if they could take a shot. That's why I don't expose myself. I don't put myself out there. I tell you ladies too, protect yourself like a rare gem. Don't try to like hang out with guys and try to be like them, because at the end of the day, yeah, they can get aggressive, they can hurt you, they can do whatever. So you got to be tactful about it. And a lot of them have like a lot of pent up energy, and they're just looking for a woman to take it out on. And when they don't get sex for a long time, some of them can turn violent. I've seen that. I have seen that. So I tell women, don't put yourself in situations like, I'm not going into a man's bar or a man dominated space, giving them a hard time. I'm here just talking about my shit. And And obviously putting up those pictures on the community wall must have triggered some of those guys who probably live like that with their chicken cutlets by their side in bed, right? Calling it their wife or something, right? So that's why they're going to come on here in my space and give me a hard time. But I'm not going to them. So anybody who's trying to talk to me like, oh, a fight in terms and threats and shit, like freaking go say that shit to your mother. It's not scaring me. Obviously, she needs to get smacked if this is how you freaking treat women. That's disgraceful. That's disgraceful. I have a whole son, and I wouldn't appreciate him walking around like a piece of shit like that. He already knows how I would get down if I heard women talking like that about him. I wouldn't appreciate it, right? Not a good reflection on where he came from and who raised him, right? So integrity begets integrity, just like I would give men ultimate respect. That's what I appreciate too. But there's a lot of males out there that don't have man energy, and that's why they got to go on these YouTube streets, you know, looking for love or looking for whatever and never finding it and never will find it because they don't deserve it, right? You know, these are treasures in heaven, you know, that are bestowed upon us just for those who are blessed enough to receive it. There are many people in this world that will never find anything, right? Because they didn't want to give of themselves. They didn't want to take away from their happiness. It was all about them, and they didn't want to be inconvenienced. You know what I mean? It is like a give and take both parties. And if not, then I guess that's why the toy industry is making so much money. But, you know, better that even in certain situations, the toys don't even deserve to be touched by such scumbags. Put it that way. So it's getting pretty crazy out there. I feel for people, but you know, the fakeness or objects are no replacement for the real thing. There's nothing like the real thing, baby. Just remember that. Irvin, you've been amazing, right? Inner peace is everything, and that will emanate because when you're getting with someone, you are connecting with their spirit, right? And that right there is like the most attractive things, you know. I know people who had full-blown relationships just you know, talking on the phone and liking how they sounded, and were up hours and hours and hours and had a relationship after the fact. Can you believe it? I have testimonies too, you know what I mean? Yeah, from personal experience, put it that way, okay? Where you could just talk to someone on the phone and be like, wow, you know what I mean? And these things can happen, you know? And so you have to know that, you know, you really gotta see what you want and, like, you know, see what kind of person you are. And that is such a huge responsibility to like share of yourself in that way. And when you degrade it and just look at it like going to the bathroom or like just a regular bodily function, you totally disregard and ruin like the whole experience for yourself. Like, do not minimize it, right? Because you're not doing yourself any favors. But thank you so much. Hi, Joyce. Thanks for stopping by. I gotta go home and switch to yes, Wonder Woman has to switch into her next outfit, which is lounge clothes. Thank you, my dears. I appreciate your support. Stay tuned. I will try to do videos this week as much as I can. I have a company picnic to go to. We have a half a day tomorrow. You know, really cool company. Yeah, it's like the whole day picnic and we're getting paid for it. So that's going to be really, really chill. So I'm happy about that. So it's going to be a really good week. God is good. And, you know, meeting great people like you just doubles the experience today. So thank you. Just, you know, you have to chuckle when you see other people and what they're talking about, and just be grateful that you're not hurting like some of these people, because out in real life, I can see what it is. And they're definitely in the danger zone. If you haven't seen my prior video, check it out. Bye, guys. Thank you. And I'll